Hey, how are we doing tonight?
Yay! Good.
Okay, three are doing good. Yeah. You know, when the other comic said that she went for a flu shot made me think of bird flu, and bird flu made me think of President Bush. I heard he came up with a solution for the bird flu. He's going to bomb the Canary Islands. That's where the source of the problem is. Then he's going after Turkey. Yeah, well, like Thomas said, I am single. Only because my parents discouraged me from marriage. You see, I'm from a large French family, and I'm originally from Quebec. You know, thanks for the big round of applause for that. Thank you very much, yeah. I separated from Quebec a few years ago because, well, Quebec wouldn't separate, somebody had to. Yeah. And I grew up with a mother from England. Coronation Street in Quebec. That's what it was like, Coronation Street all over. Ooh. Yeah. Now, how did a British woman end up in Quebec raising a large French family? Somebody might ask. Okay?
Yeah.
Well, see, when she was younger, she had a desire to learn French. So her British friend said, well, if you want to learn French, you must sleep with a Frenchman. So she did. 14 babies later, still no French. I don't try and figure out British women because there's no figuring there. Yeah, 14 babies. That's a lot, huh? That's a large family, isn't it? Now, she didn't have them all at once. That would have hurt, you know. I was thinking the other day, I heard on the news that this woman gave birth to a set of twins, and they were stuck together. And I thought, why does that happen? Then I thought, maybe she was a glue sniffer. And then I thought, what if my mother sniffed glue before she had 14 babies? We would have been like the paper doll family. You know, I would have been standing up here with 13 siblings stuck to me. Try running away from that. Yeah. But she didn't sniff glue, as you can see. Yeah. So, let's see, what was it like growing up in a large family? Well, there's always a couple of forgotten kids in a large family. I was one. I forget who the other one was. And like I said, I have no kids because, well, you know, I grew up with a dozen of them. I know what they're like, and I'm not going to fall for that again, right? No. Once you have kids, you know, they just never go away. You're stuck with them for the rest of your life, right? And I got one of my older sisters. See, I'm number 13. I'm way down at the bottom of the ladder there, and all my sisters are older than me. So they got all the body parts. I got leftovers. Somebody thought that I came from Saskatchewan. Yeah. But no, where was I? Oh yeah, one of my older sisters would call me up and remind me that I don't have kids. And then she would tell me how old I am. And then she would say, don't you think it's about time you settled down and had kids? Oh man, it would piss me off. Wouldn't that piss you off? You know, sister calling you up. And you know, when I was growing up with them, they were always telling me every time they had problems in their relationship, they would tell me, whatever you do, don't ever get in a relationship. Then they would say, whatever you do, don't ever get married. And then they would say, whatever you do, don't ever have kids. Now she's calling me up and asking me why I'm not settled down and having kids. Do you know anybody who has kids and is actually settled? I don't. You know, so I had to put a stop to that, right? So I thought of something and I gave it to her. I said, sis, you're 62 years old, right? Don't you think it's about time you fall down and break a hip? Yeah. So my sister doesn't call me anymore. Yeah. And you know, in the news they talk about these kids, you know, they're in no hurry to leave home, right? They're like 20-year-olds, 25, 30-year-olds, you know, and they don't want to leave home because, well, they're comfy there, right? It's cheaper. They get all the support from their parents. My mother called me up on the weekend to complain about one of my brothers still living at home with her. I'm like, come on, Ma, give the kid a break. He's only what, 61? You're 84. One of you will be leaving soon. So my mother doesn't call me anymore. Yeah, it's true I don't have kids, like I said, right? No, I'm not one to go for that. I'm not one to commit myself to anything longer than a couple of years, right? And kids, well, they last longer than that. But I have pets, but I don't have, you know, like a cat or a dog because they last too long too. So I have these little tiny rodents, okay? And they're called degus. Anybody know what a degu is? No, I was the same place as you guys. You know, I went to Pet Center and I told them what I wanted, something that doesn't last long, and something that I don't have to pay much attention to. So they said, well, we got the pet for you, degu. I said, degu, what the fuck is that? They told me it was a squirrel from Chile. Now, I don't know if that's true because I never went to Chile. I don't know what their squirrels look like. But I tell you, they don't look anything like a Canadian squirrel. They look like gerbil on steroids or something, right? And they don't require much attention. you know, and they don't last long. They told me they last from 3 years to 5 years, and I said, no, well, after 3, I'll see in what type of mood I am. Maybe they will last 5. Yeah. And when they die, it's easy. Stick them in a shoebox, toss them in a dumpster. Can't do that with kids, can you? Apparently it's illegal. Yeah. Anyways, thanks everybody, and I'm Julie P., and now you know.
Thank you very much, Julie P. Julie P.